Artist Talk. One-on-one conversation, 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up-and-comings with the it factor. It's the Jazzie KWard coming at ya. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs. Tune in, chime in, sit back, relax. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the show, Jazzie After Dark Artist Talk. So I need everyone to come on in the room. I see people coming in now. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm so glad that you could join me for another great show. Tonight, our special guest is recording artist, smooth jazz pianist, Mr. Chan Hall. So we're going to talk with him a little bit about the jazz world and the jazz industry and all that jazz. But first, what I need you guys to do is to jump over to KWard Radio. That's right, KWard Radio. You see me right there, right? You see me. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that little notification bell right there. Go back, watch the replays of the show. Check out these amazing guests that I have on, because I promise you, each and every one of them, they have that it factor. And we're going to talk about that. Of course, you hear me say the it factor. And again, tonight, if you don't know Chan Hall, shame on you. Shame on you for not knowing who this brother is. But tonight, you're going to get to know him a little bit more up close and personal. Jump over to KWardRadio.com. Subscribe to my website. Some great things are coming up for that as well. So I see Heidi. I see my girl, Costella. Two amazing artists, both out there in California. You're going to always hear me say this too. California, they know how to party. They know how to party, y'all. So tonight, my next guest is a smooth jazz recording artist. He's based in Virginia. The name Chan is derived from his middle name, Channing. His journey began at the age of 15, and this brother definitely has that it factor. So let's check out some of Chan's work right here on Artist Talk. Hey, I'm grooving. I'm grooving. Was y'all grooving to that? So that's Chan. That's his new release, and it was released just a few days ago, called "Stay a While," featuring Mr. Tony Craddock Jr. So what I need you guys to do, don't forget to make sure you go over to his website, which is chanhalljazz.com. Go ahead and download the song right now. Go ahead and get the project right now. Okay, everybody. So without further ado, I need you to share the video, share the live, and let's welcome this brother. Let's give him a lot of love. If you have questions, make sure you put those there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome recording artist and smooth jazz pianist, Mr. Chan Hall, to Artist Talk.
All right, all right.
What's up, my brother?
Hey, everything's everything, my brother.
Hey, I know we were talking a little bit earlier. I'm loving the background. It looks peaceful. All you need is a glass of wine or water, Kool-Aid, whatever you drink, right?
Yeah.
You don't have any of that over there with you? Some water, some Kool-Aid?
Got some water and Kool-Aid juice, ginger ale, you know.
All that. I appreciate it, my brother. Hey, Heidi. Want to say hello to some people. We got Costella. We got Rose Lady Edmond. You better know the Jazz Lovers Corner. If you don't know them, shame on you. Hey, Miss Deidre Mays is in the building, y'all. We got Jesse Thompson hanging out with us. Again, thank you guys so much. Again, if you have questions or comments for the night on the show, we're streaming everywhere. Make sure you post those there. And again, we're talking to Chan Hall, smooth jazz pianist. And again, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, I'm blessed, son. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it, my brother. Did you have a good day today?
I had a good day. It was a hot one, but it was good. It was long, but it was good.
It was good. Great. So, Chan, I'm going to start the show with a little bit. Just these questions, just 3 questions. I'm just going to ask you. Has nothing really to do with your profession. Just to see. Let's see. You know, I got my little notes here, so I'm just going over the questions. I ain't gonna ask you nothing hard now. Well, like, what's your favorite song to dance to, and why?
Wow, that's a good question, man. I'm not a big dancer though. That's really a good thing. I could tell you a favorite song, but I'm okay. More of a sit down, bob your head type guy. I'm not really a big.
So what song you bob your head to? You be like, that's my song.
I tell you what.
Okay.
Let me try to get my thoughts here.
Okay.
I would say I'm terrible with artist names, so I think it's Chuck Brown. I'm busting loose.
I feel like that's one of the songs you just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat, y'all. Give me the beat, y'all. You know.
I could hear you playing that on the keys. I could definitely hear you playing that. What are some favorite qualities about yourself?
Favorite qualities, I would say that I'm charismatic, that I'm always willing to help people.
Okay.
And I'm a hard worker.
Okay. Last question with that. Is there anything you wish you had done sooner?
Yeah, man. I wish I would have jumped. I wish I would have connected with people earlier to help get my career uplifted.
Okay. That's good. Let's give them a round of applause, y'all. You know, I'm sorry, I don't have a fake claps, y'all, but we appreciate that.
Yeah.
But again, you know, Chad, we're so glad you're here on Artist Talk. So I've been anticipating this conversation all day, talking about your new music. You know, you've been grinding for a long time, and again, when you hear me say shame on me, I had to learn a little bit more about Chan Hall. I was like, you know what? I've been sitting down on this brother a long time. This brother is bad. So shame on me, y'all. Shame on me for not knowing Chan a little sooner. But I'm glad to have you on the show. And just to go back a little bit, I know were you raised in Virginia? That's your hometown?
No, I was raised in North Carolina.
You're North Carolina. So, yeah. When you being raised in North Carolina, did you start in the church? playing the piano? Did you start drums? How did your musical journey start with?
All right. So musical journey. I would say, man, I was actually, I would say church. I would say church.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to be a drummer. So
Oh,
at the end of service, the band is always kind of jamming at the end of service. All the kids are running up to try to, mimic the instrumentation before
yeah.
they lock the church down. It's like your 5 seconds of fame trying to learn how to play. So
Mhm.
I noticed, man, all the kids want to play drums. So it's
Okay.
like, man, I'm never gonna get my chance to even touch the drumsticks before they close the church.
Right.
So in high school, I decided to take a percussion class, thinking, hey, I'll be able to play drum set.
Okay.
Well, when I got in there, my my teacher had a different vision for what he had for all of us in that particular percussion group. So we learned everything but the drum set. There was
Okay.
one guy in there who did play the drum set that he allowed. This guy, one of my buddies named Tank, he's touring right now playing drums. But
Okay.
what he did was he started me out on xylophones. So I'm thinking xylophones, timpanis, and other drums. And I'm
Okay.
thinking like, man, I wanted to put drum set, not marimbas and xylophones and glockenspiels. But
Mhm.
what they would say is when you learn that instrument, it's a keyboardic instrument. So it's just like playing the piano with two fingers because the two sticks represent the two fingers. So you end up learning the notes and the different scales and the different degrees of what you're doing. Just, it's a little different, but you're learning really the piano in essence. So that's where it kind of started out. It
Okay.
started out around when I was like 15, 16. And me and my instructor, we would battle. We would,
Wow.
he would, I guess there was this way of pulling me in to learn more. He would kind of compete with me. I was a competitive person. I was in sports. He
Okay.
would keep, you couldn't get this right. He had this little joke. So when you mess up, he said, smart award.
Right.
He would say smart award because you messed up. And so one day I got him. We was battling back and forth. He messed up. I said, smart award. So then he was back and forth kind of competitive thing and
Okay.
got better. And it
Yep.
translated from that to the piano.
To the piano. Okay. I
Mhm.
was going to say with drums, I don't know if you were like me. I always wanted to know how to play the piano. But when I was a little boy, I wouldn't say I was bad, but in my grandparents' house, when I would go with my grandparents, I was always in the pots and pans. And I think every little boy maybe had that moment where you kind of being your pots and pans and all that kind of stuff in the house. So I was going to ask you, was music very important to your family, like when you were growing up in your house?
Um, I think music was pretty important. It just wasn't important about me pursuing it,
Pursuing.
if
Okay.
that makes any sense. It was a very big impact on the family because, it's almost like for us, I'm gonna say us,
Right.
music drives us. Just like in the slavery days, they sung songs to get through the bad times. And I
That's right.
think music kind of has this calling for us when we're doing stuff. It just has a way of, enhancing whatever we're doing.
Yeah, because and I'm glad you brought that up. If you even go back and you were talking about just for I think the African American community as a whole, music was very instrumental, either whether it was gospel, hymns, even during that time, music got, I think I could say it this way, black folk through a lot. Music,
Yeah,
it was healing. It was
yeah,
very powerful.
absolutely.
When you think about those times when you think about Billie Holiday and you hear songs like Strange Fruit, and as I got older, I didn't really appreciate. I really didn't know what the song was speaking about until I got older. So that's one of the things I like about jazz is that you know to me, of course, it's universal, but it's instrumental. So for me, it gives my mind a chance to relax, and I can put, I think, any form of narrative. I would like how it had an impact on me. So how has jazz been instrumental to you, Chan?
Um, Man, that's a good question. So I think instrumentally, I got it through a lot of different things, different through other genres. Believe it or not, I like rap. I like old school rap, hip hop. You know, from the '90s, '80s era. Like
Mhm.
I'm a big Tribe Called Quest fan.
Oh,
So
me
if
too.
you listen to a lot of their music, they were sampling a lot of jazz records. So
That's
and that soul music was what kind of like, yo, that's what the head bop can come in is
yeah.
you hear the beat snap and you're like, yo, that's dope. Like, man, it's taking you different elements and stuff. And then you listening to like traditional jazz,
Mhm.
even to your gospel. It's touching on different elements. And you know, when you get that, it's like pulling you in. So then you start to really want like, hey, I want the big picture here. I hear it
Right,
sprinkle here, but I want the big
right,
picture. I want to know what it's all about. So then you just immerse yourself
right.
into the whole genre, you know?
That's right. Because people think that because I do a lot of jazz. It's like I tell this a lot. My niece and nephew used to when I go to Houston and I get in the car, they just like, oh, my Uncle Corey, he works at a jazz station. So when we get in the car and they hear Jay-Z or Biggie or I'm Trina, look him, they're like, Uncle Corey, what but I think we should listen to all facets of music because when you listen to rap, I hear jazz and rap. I hear jazz and gospel. I hear jazz and R&B. In all kind of music. But to ask you as well, Chan, what does music heal you from?
Music heals me from the day-to-day stresses,
Yeah.
the day-to-day struggles on underachievements, depression.
Mhm.
Um, it heals me in a sense of my work ethic.
Right.
Sometimes if I'm slacking, like it definitely music can take you away from certain situations, and for the moment, it can make you feel so much better. Music, that's what music is for. That's what musicians
Right.
are for. They're in the business of making people feel good, and that's
That's
what music does.
it definitely does that. And music, it makes you think, even about past experience, your past life. Like you said, it's very healing, and it just gives you such a connection. But also to go back just a little bit, Chan, even during last year, during the pandemic, how was that time for you and your family? How did you all like navigate through the pandemic?
Yeah, buddy. Woo-wee. Where do
No.
we start? you know, um, that was a very challenging time because we didn't know what was going on, what was happening. Businesses were declining.
Yeah.
Any dreams, it just seemed deferred at the moment. Very bleak. You just was in a. It put you in a real. It's like they put you in the middle of the ocean and say, "Hey,
Right.
figure out how to get back to land." And you just
That's
treading
right.
waters, looking
Mhm.
around like, man, why would somebody just dump me in the middle of the ocean like this? And I had everything lined up for me.
Right.
So it definitely it was challenging, man. And then you try to watch what other people were doing,
Mhm.
listening to information, from day to day. You just taking it. I think a lot of people just take it slow. It was a good time. It was a good and bad situation. So it was bad, of course, in all the ways we know. But it
Mhm.
was a good thing because it helped create. It put pressure to create creativity to
Right.
start doing things different and break traditional
Right.
way of doing things, and just started, it started just doing different things. The thing we
Mhm.
didn't know was when we come out of it, how would this new normal would be,
Right.
that
Yeah,
question mark.
that's true. Because yeah, I think even for me, it- I thought I said it was a blessing, it was a curse, Chan, because it also made me put things in a perspective, things that I needed to take care of. And also, even though I know things are slowly opening up and things are getting better, what did I do during this whole year that I've been at home? I'm able to afford the opportunity to be able to work from home. So what did I do with all that time? Did you find yourself like writing new music, maybe this awesome new song that you have out too?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I did the most, okay, so I knew everything was going to come to a halt. So
Right.
I knew other artists were going to be making music at this time because that's all you could do. That's all the time in the world you was home. So I entered in a space where I decided to exercise some things that I hadn't done in the previous years.
Okay.
And I took all the advice that I was given, because before the pandemic, I was compiling information on my next steps. What's going to be next for me? Where's the aims that I want to go? So some of the aims, I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to get to that because it's, there's no physical, interaction right now happening with social distancing right now. So that allowed me to use technology a whole lot more to my advantage. So I was able to create and network with people through social medias, more emails, and things became more functional. And I started writing new tunes. To be honest, this was my first time working with software. I usually go to the studio to get things done. So it allowed me to get better at software to figure out how can I get things done in a pandemic. Right. So, once I worked the software, it was almost like, okay, I'm learning more, more and more. I was making song by song, but then I was watching like, okay, I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing that wrong, doing this wrong. So I was strategizing and working the plan even in the pandemic. For me, anybody that knows me, I'm always grinding, always. Right. So I don't like idle time, because if I idle my time, that's my time here on earth. If I waste that, then that's on me. We don't get an abundance of time here while we're here. So you got to, take that time and use it to your advantage as best as possible. So that's always me. So I looked at it. I still got this dream and goal and vision ahead of me. So I still got to make sure that this works out. So I punched the gas. I punched the gas on working out. I networked with certain artists, featured artists to come in involved. And then I got with certain engineers, got with some radio promo, got a radio promo guy named Adam. He's incredible. We started working together, intertwining things, putting it together, and then putting it out so that we can. I know the biggest thing for me was, you said for yourself, you saw me, you probably didn't engage in my music. And that was one of the questions for me. How do I get the person that's not in my area to become a fan? How do I reach without the radius of where I am to a bigger spectrum in the country? So what I did was I started working on that towards that goal while I was in the pandemic. It was possible through technology to say, hey, I can do this, I can do that. Let's go for this. Let's wow everybody. And then this is another thing. Everybody's home. So their undivided attention is on music right now. That's all they got to do. So I need to be getting my music out there right now while they're paying attention, because before the pandemic, everybody was everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
Yeah, so they weren't going to really focus on just you or just music. They got like everything. So when the pandemic came, it stopped everything. And everybody was engaging either TV, social media, or radio. So I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to execute. So I got something to say, and they're going to be listening during this moment. So that was my effective plan to come in there and boom,
Well, you definitely did that, my brother, because I had to do the same thing. It's like, even though, I do radio on the side, but with my full-time job, it's giving me affording me the opportunity. So I said, come on, Jazz, you got to be a little bit more creative. So I wanted to start this show outside the radio station to artists, independent artists, indie artists, jazz artists like yourself. I said, well, hey, I want to start this show to build a platform so people can know about these amazing artists. So, typically we have our mainstream artists that we love, that we typically always see. And I tell a lot of my friends, we constantly listen to the same people, but discover somebody different. And if you don't know Chan Hall, shame on you, because this brother has that it factor. And we're going to talk a little bit more with Chan. So we're going to take a short break right here on Artist Talk. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you invite some friends, and we're going to have a little bit more conversation right after this. Hi, this is Jazzie KWard, your host for Saturday Jazz Affair on FM 90.7 WVAS. Join me for a new segment of Artist Talk. That's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time each Saturday on WVAS. We're going to talk to artists about their music, have great conversation, and much more. That's on Artist Talk on 90.7 FM WVAS. Of course, you can stream the show via WPASFM.org. I hope you can tune in.
Come on in. I've been waiting for you. I just can't get enough.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show, Artist Talk. We're talking with recording artist and pianist, Mr. Chan Hall. So make sure you go over to his website, which is chanhalljazz.com. And I think I missed some friends. Hey, Colleen, and we got Rena Chanel that's hanging out with us tonight. Again, thank you guys so much. Again, as I was talking, Chan, I have a big support for indie recording artists, to support artists that are out here grinding, y'all. I told you, this brother got that it factor. Y'all better know who Chan Hall is. He has a new project, so make sure, can they get the Stay a While? Is that available now?
Yes, that is available on any kind of avenue, like Apple, iTunes, Amazon. But right there on the website, you can get it there too.
Okay.
It's right on my website. On the music store, you can get Stay a While. It's a great tune that I did with Tony Craddock Jr. He's a great artist.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do, Chan, we're gonna check out a performance for you, bro. So y'all get ready. So we're gonna have this performance right here on Artist Talk from smooth jazz pianist, Mr. Chan Hall, y'all. We'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? Chan here, man. I just wanted to come to you, man, and to do one of the songs from the project, man. One of my favorites, man. I've been trying to get everybody's favorite. Let me know your favorites. Yo, go to my social media, Chan Hall. Pretty much Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You can get all that from my website at the top of the corner, and also support the project by going to the website and grabbing some of the tracks, man. And let me know your thoughts, man. Let me know what song, what was your favorite from the project. But nonetheless, I'm here to do a song for the show. I'm going to do a song called "Let's Talk" from the Something to Prove album, which was released on Friday. So I need you guys to go in, listen to that. Once again, support the music and enjoy this moment right here. Enjoy it, because I'm coming back out. And also on the website, you can see where I'm performing. I'll be performing in Chesapeake at Chesapeake City Park at Jazz and R&B on the Lawn. It's August 15th at 2 p.m. Get your tickets. Go to tseniormanagement.com to get your tickets. All right? So I'm going to do a song here called "Let's Talk." Hey, yeah, right? Here we go.
See that y'all did not realize I was actually playing that. See, I was actually playing that on the, I wish I was, my brother. I mean, can you teach me that? Can you teach me how to play that by the organ by the end of the month?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw a couple comments asking if I played the organ. Yeah, I played pretty much everything on the track except for the bass. I didn't play the bass part. I had a homeboy play the bass guitar, but everything else I did myself.
Oh wow! So how did you on your new record? How did you and Tony link up?
Well, me and Tony been friends for a while. You know, Tony is somebody who I aspired to be. I've watched him grow and take it to the next level on a lot of different situations. So he came to Richmond. He's in Virginia. And I saw he sold out shows in my.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My whole goal was. So I was like, let me connect. I mean, I got opportunity to connect with the brother. Cool guy. I had told him, I was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a project. Would you mind being an artist on the project? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And once again, I exercise social media. We're in two parts. I'm in Central Virginia. He's in Northern Virginia, closer to DC. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, well, I gave him the track, and we talked about it, and we finally found something conducive for the both of us.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
and then
Okay.
the rest of the story was a year later. Um, it was said that the original track that was done for the song with Tony, we needed to add some more elements. So, long
Okay.
story short, my radio promo guy connected me to Blake Aaron.
Okay.
So Blake Aaron did the production work for it, and we got Tony to come back and redo some more parts, and that's how we came up with the Stay a While track.
Oh man, I mean, I love the song. Uh, hey, Costello said. Yvonne says hello. Hey, Yvonne. Hey, welcome to the show. So, Chan, let me ask you this: what do you do when the world is not ready for your sound? You ever thought about that?
Oh yeah, yeah, man. You know what? I can speak for a lot of people because that conversation did come up with another brother that I spoke with last week.
Mhm.
Brother name is Marcus Adams.
Oh
We
yeah.
played saxophone. We spoke because we're going to be on the same show in August.
Mhm.
So we spoke about that because sometimes radio plays a certain sound,
Right.
and that cuts away from the freedom of
Mhm.
what you really would like to put out for the world to hear.
Mhm.
The gatekeepers, it's up to the gatekeepers to let out what should be played. So they cap off a lot of the stuff that the sound that we could produce as, especially African American men, I
Right.
would say.
Mhm.
They're just not. I don't think they're quite ready for the sound.
Right.
So it's when the world don't want to listen to it, man. I would say this like anybody previous. Um, you just have to continue to just go. If they catch
Right.
it, then so be it. They do.
Right.
If they don't, and you still continue to do you.
That's right. You have to keep grinding. I don't know. Are
He
you there?
played.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So like Thelonious Monk, he, going back in his day for studying him, he had a
Mhm.
sound that people were just not quite ready for yet. It
That's
was
true.
like, well, he plays so distinctive because he would play weird notes, that were clustered. And what ended up happening was he got his respect later, but it was way later. He was so far ahead of his time that, unfortunately, when he's dead and gone, there everybody's, oh, the guy's hip. He's
Yeah,
doing
he's
his
right.
killer. But when he was doing it, it was just
That's right.
like, what is he doing? What's
Is he
that
doing?
sound? But what
Right.
he did was he created his own sound and was made distinctively set apart from the rest of the pack. So
That's And I think that's about being creative. I tell a lot of, there's enough room out here for all of us, and, Chan Hall, my brother, you are in your own lane. I love your sound. We're all different. Some people are going to like us, some people are not. But all you have to do is keep grinding and keep doing you. And I think just really, a lot of people, I'm sure we emulate other people, but I think you just have to be you. And as long as you authentically yourself and
mhm.
keep grinding, I think that's just, what you have to do. But so who were some of your musical influences?
A big spread, man. A lot of times everybody looking for the typical, hey, he's a pianist, but so I'm gonna go into influences for me because I told you I like rap. So
Right.
Tribe Called Quest had an influence on me. Rap culture had an influence on me for the sound. Um, Neo Soul has a big influence on me. Like the Jill Scotts and stuff like that. That kind of
Right.
soul music that you just want to be in a lounge and just like grooving to.
Right.
Some in the contemporary world, you got people like George Duke, Brian Culbertson that influenced me heavily. Joe Sample, um, and straight ahead jazz world, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea
Okay.
influenced me heavily to really push forth, trying to incorporate some of those sounds and stuff like that. So
Right. Okay. That's
yeah.
cool. And I'm sure it's, Chan, people, I always tell people, when they see artists, they see lights, camera, action, they think, wow, that brother's up there, millions of dollars in your pocket. He's doing wonderful. There's no challenges in this business. He just rising to the to the top. So what's been challenges, as an indie artist that you can share?
Okay. As an indie artist, the challenges is having to fund your own budget for your projects and your promotions and everything else. That's going to be, I think, number one as an indie artist, because you don't have a label backing you to say, hey, we're going to put this money up front for you and then we'll get it back later and all this stuff. And they just got it all ready for you. You have to create your own team. You have to do a lot of the leg work because you just don't have the type of budget, or maybe you do, but
Right.
most of us, we don't have that kind of budget. So it takes a little bit longer to get off the ground. And then I would say the other piece is the struggles of an indie artist is getting the gate holders to allow you to pass. The people who work for radio stations, to them allowing them to play your music. Those big festivals that you aspire to be on stage are tough because you got the George Bensons of the world, the Boney James, that they're going to keep booking all the time and don't have a squeeze for the next indie artist to say, hey, let's try to enhance this brother's career. Let's try to uplift his career. And they'll look at, because I get it, it's a business. It's a business tactic. Who brings in tickets? Any artist ain't out there to bring in tickets or whatever at the moment, until he gets to the status of those people, then we'll bring him in on all the festivals and he'll reap what's good. So that's the struggles of an independent. The money to fund your projects and budgets, and to get the allowance from gate holders to let you pass through and allow you to be in forefront of everybody.
That's right. That's true. I got a couple comments. Hey, Michael, they said, Mr. Chan, I always enjoy your music. KWard is a great platform. Thank you so much, Michael. Yeah,
Thanks,
and
Mike.
don't forget, everyone, don't forget to support Chan. Go over to chanhalljazz.com. And do you have physical copies, Chan, that they can order, or just digital platform?
Digital for now. You can get if you email me from the website, I can get you the physical copies. Physical copies should be sent over probably in the next week or two. Okay. They were a little bit behind. Everything was kind of behind because of now everything's opening back up. So all the artists are swarming these companies, and they're behind on their timelines. But yeah, just email me from my website, chanhalljazz.com. If you want a physical, and I can mail it to you. We can talk on there. I can get you your mailing address and send it off in the mail.
Okay. And Ron Letford said, he hears a little Bob James in your music.
Oh, thank you, man. That's an honor. Bob is the man.
Yeah, he's the man. And I got like two more questions for you, Chan.
Sure.
Real quick. What parts of yourself do you protect the most?
Parts of myself, I say, dive into that. Break that down a little bit more for me.
In this music business, and I'm sure in your personal life, professional life, I'm sure you're pulled in so many directions, but your mind, body, and soul, what does Chan do to protect you? Outside influences, just to protect yourself.
Some things that I do is I stay in my quiet times. I don't, I guard my personal life because that's personal for me. Right. I think if I let that out, there can be many attacks on me if I do. Yeah. That's right. So, I leave that to the personal situations of, if you know me, then you know my personal life. If you don't know me, then you're just gonna know this music life. I try to keep them separate. Just because I don't want to have shots aimed at my personal life.
That's right.
So, and then ways that I try to stay away from it, man, just, just keeping to myself, sticking close to the ones who do love me, and just prayer, that type of thing.
Right.
So yeah, I usually just try to just stay out of when I'm not in music, I try to stay out of the limelight most
The
likely.
limelight. I can understand that. Did you want to give any shout outs? I like to also recognize the people that like behind the scenes that don't normally get a lot of credit. Like what producers, on this project that you worked with on this particular project.
Well, I work with Blake Aaron, so
Okay.
that was a good thing. That was a nice bump up for me to have to meet somebody that's in his caliber,
Right.
that's really owning the charts and on the radio consistently. Shout out to right here in RVA in Richmond, to Dot Spot Studio. My boy Matt over there, he did a lot of the production work for me. Once I recorded it, I sent it to him. He did the mixing and mastering for me. And Kelly over there at the Spot Recording Studio. And just shout out to all of the feature artists like Marcus Anderson, Tony Craddock Jr., Chris Scafani, Bill McGee, buddy of mine named Tywell. I just give a shout out for those guys, and I want to shout out my bass player, um, Wayne Lewis. He did a lot of the bass work for me. Everything else I covered myself, but he did a lot of the bass work. He was the person that stepped up and said, "I got you, like my brother. I got you. I'm gonna play these bass lines." So let's just shout out to those guys on a musical level. You know that they made things happen. They got things done.
That's good. I appreciate it. And also, I was seeing some stuff on Twitter. So if y'all see me looking down, somebody wanted to know, Chan, are you playing anywhere local in your area while things are slowly open up? People want to see you perform. Are you performing anywhere?
Right now I'm in the process of trying to find some places to play at. That's going to be on up to management to see and dive into to see if things are feasible. But yeah, I'm looking into trying to doing some things local here in the area as well. Not as much as I have in the past, because I've done a lot of work here in the past, and who came has come. If you didn't show up, a lot of people that didn't show. I was pushing, so some things I will do here locally in the area, but my major push is to try to get out of the area. I would like to be known other than just my immediate area. That's the goal. That's the whole push for radio and all the promotions that I'm doing. So, but the answer to that question, yes, there will be some stuff locally here that they can come to. I just haven't found it, but tell that person that they can continue to watch my website, chanhalljazz.com. I have a list of shows that will be on there that I usually, whenever I get one, I update, or they can join the email listing. And whenever I have a show, I usually send out an email blast saying, hey, I'll be X, Y, and Z at this time. If it's ticket sales, if it's not ticket sales, et cetera. So, which, by the way, is not immediate, but I do have a show August the 15th down in Chesapeake City.
That's right.
Chesapeake, Virginia at 2 p.m. You can get the tickets from my website, or you can go to tseniormanagement.com to get those tickets. But they're going to have Howard Heward, Sherelle, and many other artists on this particular this particular ticket holder, ticket sales.
Oh, so, yeah. That's going to be a great show. I think Marcus Adams, Miss Drummer.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be an amazing show. And then tell them the date again, Chan.
That's August 15th, 2 p.m.
Okay. Make sure everybody go and get your tickets go right now to chanhalljazz.com. Support this brother. Download the song. It's available on all digital platforms, or just go over to chanhalljazz.com. And Chan, someone that's watching this video, again, I promise this is my last question. Someone that's watching you that wants to go in your same footsteps. You hear a lot of people saying the music business, don't go into the music business. But for someone that's watching, what advice can you give them?
I would give them the advice of, man, go after whatever it is that you want. And I would say, every profession has their pitfalls. You're gonna trip and fall. That's part of the nature of the business. But if it's something that's in your heart genuinely that you want to do, then I would say go after it like your life depends on it.
That's right. Hey, that's some great solid advice, y'all. Again, ChanHallJazz.com, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on the show again. Stay a while. I love the song. I've been playing it like all day. And
good, yeah.
Playing it all day. It's definitely on my Spotify playlist. If you all do a Spotify playlist, I do a Spotify playlist for WVAS, and Chan Hall is among those other It Fact artists that are listed there. So if you go over to Jazzie KWard, you can hey, I just get the Spotify playlist, play it. And again, it's all about support and supporting these artists, and they definitely use your support. And don't forget to check out the show in August, ChanHallJazz.com. And whatever I can do, my brother, to support you, I'm in your corner. I'm a text, phone call, doesn't matter, email away.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. You were in where? Alabama?
I am in Montgomery, Alabama. And hopefully we do the Nat King Cole Jazz Festival. And hopefully we can have Chan Hall down here in Montgomery.
Yes, I would love to go. I've never been to Alabama. That would be a great opportunity to go.
Yeah, and we also need to get you at the Perfect Note up in Birmingham, Alabama, which is about 45 minutes from me. It's not far.
What's the lady that sax that plays there all the time?
The saxophone, a lady.
What's her name? She plays there all the time.
I can't think of the lady.
It ain't Jasmine Gent, I don't think. It's
not Paula Atherton. She's been there.
What's the lady name? I cannot remember her name. I know I hear her music all the time. She got great music.
Okay. Now, well, Kim Scott is there, but she plays flute.
Flute, okay.
She plays the flute.
Okay.
But,
maybe it's her. It's her, and I want to say somebody else, but I can't remember.
Somebody else? Okay.
But anyway, I watched. I follow the Perfect Note. It looks like a great place to play.
It's a great place. Well, my brother, thank you so much. Can you hang around for about 1 minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody. Again, another great show. My special guest is recording artist. We had Chan Hall, who's a smooth jazz pianist. Make sure you go over to ChanHallJazz.com. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you for your support, comments of the show. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel at KWard Radio, as well as KWardRadio.com, my website. And you can always join me. Any artist that would like to be featured on the show, I would like to share their music for airplay. My information is listed there. Just send me your music. If you would like to support the show, my PayPal, Cash App information. Hey, Kenneth Wynn, thank you, my friend, for joining me. And join me each and every Saturday on 90.7 WVAS from 8 a.m. to 12 noon for a Saturday Jazz Affair. That's on the campus of Alabama State University. That's WVASFM.org. Again, I'm Jazzie KWard saying, hey, have a great night. Don't forget to join me here on Thursday night. I'll be talking with my friend, recording artist, saxophonist, and vocalist, Patrick Lamb. You don't want to miss that. Take care of yourself and be kind to others. Good night.
A live one-on-one conversation, 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors.